Hi guys, and oh wait, did it freeze? Okay. Hi guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood. I am so happy and like over the moon to have our guest here, Miss Jade Sanders from the middle of nowhere. No, I'm kidding. If you guys don't know Jade, Jade is a Stonehill commit. She goes to Woodstock High School in Woodstock, Illinois, and she is the best softball player you guys will ever see. We're going to be talking about Jade's softball journey. We're going to be talking about her dating life. We're going to be talking about senior year. We're going to be talking about literally everything under the sun. We're going to have a little girl talk at the end. We are going to have so much fun. So I'm so excited for this episode. Are you excited? Have you ever been on a podcast before?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God. So it's just gonna be, we're gonna have a great time. So before we get into this, you guys need to follow at Literally My Life, MGTG on Instagram and TikTok, and go, follow Jade as well at Jade Sanders on Instagram to stay updated on all things Jade's life. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so my first thing with you, Jade, a lot of questions. We have to get into this, but like my first question for you is softball. I want to know a lot about softball. How did you start playing? Like when was it like, oh, I want to play softball? Did someone put you in it or what?
Yeah, so I started playing softball when I was 5,
Okay.
and my parents put me in it. I don't even remember talking to them about it. Like I just remember like they would like take me to practice and I'd just do whatever. Yeah, my parents got me into it. My great grandpa used to play in the MLB, and my dad used to play baseball and he was really good at it, and then he decided not to go to the league. So then it was me, and yeah, they just kind of threw me in there, and ever since then I've stuck with it. So
Okay. And when did you decide that it was going to be more than like a childhood sport that you were going to play it in high school and college?
I feel like I decided my freshman year of high school because that's like when I kind of got introduced into like college camps and recruiting. So I decided then that I was like, okay, like either I need to decide like if this is serious or if this is something that I just want to do for fun. And then once I decided it was something serious, like that's when I kind of tried like getting more exposure and reaching out.
So I follow you on Instagram and I've seen you've visited a lot of colleges and you've looked great at all of them. But what made you choose Stonehill?
I think the thing that made me choose Stonehill was first of all the school is super cute. Like it's like a very tight knit group. There's not too many kids who go to Stonehill. But the number one thing that really set like them apart from the other schools was the coach. I always say this all the time to people who ask me was I feel as I was treated more like a person than a product on the shelf by Coach Allie, who's my college coach. So she just made me feel very like wanted, and when I went, the visit was great. The girls were great. They wanted to be there. The other assistant coaches wanted to be there. They had very high things to say about Allie, and I really liked how just because it's a smaller school, which is like what I wanted because I'm not very much a people person. Um, I liked how like the whole school was just like together. Everyone knew everyone. Like teachers knew your name and your face. So like obviously playing a sport at that high of a level and also trying to balance school, I knew it was going to be a problem. So I think I also really wanted a teacher who like knew me and knew what I had going on.
I think that's wonderful. I think when people don't realize about sports is like your coaching and your teammates affect it so much more than you think. Like, you do not want to play if you don't have a good coach. Like, that's for sure. You don't want to play if you don't have teammates you don't get along with, or like coaches who play favorites, or this, that, and the third. Like, it makes you not want to play. And I've met a lot of people who quit a sport that they love, that they've been playing since they were 4 or 5 because of like bad coaching. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing, and I'm really happy about your commitment. So, do you think your experience at Woodstock has like prepared you for Stonehill or like college softball in general?
No. Um, um,
I didn't expect
honestly,
that. Okay.
honestly, I'm not gonna come on here and like bash Woodstock because like the admins are great. Like Dr. B, who's our principal, he's an amazing principal. He's always there for me. Like if I have a problem, he'll always get figured out. Um, but I feel like the school's athletics. Like it's a lot of political stuff. Um, so I feel like that it's not helping me in any way. If anything, when I was on the softball team, I felt like it was um, just like not like like making my skills like decrease, but like kind of just like not making me have like a competitive edge because that's not like what it was like. That's not what it was like there because of like the team was very new girls who had never played before and just like a handful of girls who have. So I feel like just maybe like obviously you can't do anything with girls who haven't played. Like you can't do anything about that. It's who you pick up. But I feel like maybe extra help to the girls' sports, especially I would thought could have been better. Like boys' sports, girls' sports, lack a lot of stuff, especially sports who don't do very good. Um, but I feel like maybe if we got a little bit like more help in coaching, like we could do better. But I also just think that like that's everywhere though. Like a lot of the boys get a lot of stuff when it comes to sports and the girls don't as much. I think Woodstock is a fine school. Like I've dealt with a lot there, but I think some of the people that have really helped, like I said, my principal, he's really great. When there's an issue, like they'll always try to fix it, but I definitely think there's a lot more that could be done.
I like that. I like that. And we're gonna get into like, growing up in Woodstock in general and the high school, but I like your honesty and your transparency because a lot of people are like, oh my God, yeah, like my high school totally set me up, and then they get to college and it's like a completely different
Yeah,
environment. So you're saying not a lot of girls on your team either are playing like for college scholarships or they are, but they're beginners.
yeah,
Okay. And that affects like your mojo, that affects like the
yeah.
game streaks.
Definitely hard. Like when you're playing another team and the score is like 0 to 15. Like at that point, like knowing I can't do anything to help it, like I can only do as much as I'm already doing, kind of like it's frustrating a little bit. Like you're gonna lose, but like it's never a good feeling like when you consistently are losing and
Yeah.
you're playing a sport that you love and you feel like other people just don't really care. So then it's kind of like gets to the point like then why are you here? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
wouldn't you want to program around? But I feel like there's a lot of girls who didn't want to turn a program around, so that's kind of what frustrated me the most.
Okay. Jade's showing like she's throwing a little shade to her teammates. Okay. No, I get that. I understand your frustration as someone who is like on the other side of wait, well, my question is, does your school have a JV team? Like, do those girls not play on JV or does like everybody go on varsity?
So before last year when I was a junior, we only had a varsity team. We hadn't had a JV team in like years. And then we finally got girls to come out. So then junior year we had a JV and a varsity, but some of the girls were like rostered. So a lot of the JVers would be on varsity.
And how did that affect like your team play?
I think because they were so new, like it was very like nerve wracking for me and the other girls because Woodstock plays actually a lot of good softball teams with very tall players. So I think it was kind of like scary for all of us because big thing, especially playing a sport that you're not very like skilled at or like you don't have a lot of in it. Like when you put a girl in a certain position, it gets kind of more like not as play, but more as a safety issue.
Okay.
So
Sorry for that. I went to go get headphones. I feel like this is better.
yeah,
Okay. So, okay, I totally get what you mean by that. So, your school didn't really have a JV team. And then once they got one, they're still throwing those JV level girls on varsity.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sucks. Do you think if you like hypothetically grew up in like the city, because I know like this like I know I go to Whitney Young and our softball team's like insane and we do the whole recruiting thing and we're serious about that kind of thing. Do you think if you grew up in the city and went to like one of the city schools, it would have prepared you better for the college experience?
Um, I that's like a hard question to answer because I truly don't really know because I feel like my travel team that I play on has really prepared me for the experience, and so has my like brother. Him being a college coach, he's prepared me, and my family, and just like having intel and stuff. I feel like going to a school in the city though, or like a school with any good softball team that really cared, I feel like that would have definitely prepared me more than what I'm at now, but it's kind of hard to tell because obviously I don't go to a school in the city and I'll never get to experience that. But I think that it definitely would have helped.
Well, I am still, I think despite the challenge of, living in a suburb and going to the school that doesn't have the best softball team, you've done a really great job. I mean, you were visiting all these schools, you selected the school that feels the best for you, and like you said, you have your brother, you have your travel team, and you've made the best of the opportunities that you do have. And you're a hard worker. And our girl is Black Excellence, guys. She is going to Stonehill on a softball scholarship. Like, what? When do you see that? Like, that is so great. So, we are infinitely proud of you, despite everything going on. So, let's just a round of applause for Jade, everyone. Round of
Thank
applause.
you.
Okay. So, now I want to get into a little bit about starting senior year. So first of all, we're the same age, but you started Monday. I don't start for another week. So how did you feel starting senior
Well, okay,
year?
started Wednesday. Today was our second day.
Okay, and how did that go?
Okay, so we had senior sunrise before um the first day of school. So it was I was very tired. A lot of the seniors were very tired. Um like everyone was just sleeping in their classes, but the first day was really good. I can't lie, there's already like so much drama with the senior class. It's kind of crazy, especially because it's only the second day. Um, but yeah, it's going pretty good for me so far. I like all my classes. It's very hard to like sometimes like get into the classes because the first week of school is always so boring. So yeah.
Well, okay, so what classes are you taking? Like any APs or how does that
Ooh,
work?
so my freshman year, I was supposed to take APs, but because I played volleyball and softball at the time, as well as travel volleyball and travel softball, I thought it was going to be too much. So I just stacked my schedule with a lot of like college course classes. Um, so this senior year, because I stacked my schedule, my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, this senior year is a pretty easy schedule for me because I'm graduating early. I have to take two English classes, so I'm taking DC College Composition and then Junior English, and then I'm taking yearbook because I love to take photos, like of the student section of like students. I'm also taking ceramics slash sculpture, um, which is like the clay and like you can make the little pots and stuff. Um, what else am I taking? Oh, I'm taking like a PE class, and then I had a study hall, but that's changed into like late. That's all I'm doing.
That's not all. That's a lot. That is a lot. Like I couldn't even I haven't even gotten my schedule yet, which is a whole other
Oh,
thing. But so when you are an athlete, there's this big conception that you're not, you don't try academically. How are you beating that? Because I know you got a big old brain.
yeah. Personally, my parents are like crazy about so they definitely don't let me lack. Also, I think like just taking classes that I enjoy and like, educating myself, because at the end of the day, like I know that I'm not gonna have softball forever. Like eventually I need to have a job and be able for me and stuff like that. So I have a good that softball isn't going to be everything for me. And after like 4 years of college, if I don't go play pro in softball, like schooling, education, and a job is all I'm going to have. So kind of just reminding myself of that, and also having parents who like don't even let me come close to like failing is um really good for me too.
Well, that's exciting. Are you like, because I know personally I'm like, I'm kind of ready, but like, I don't know. Are you ready to like adult and like move and be on your own?
For sure. Um, there's nothing more than I adult. Obviously, I know like paying rent, paying taxes, paying bills is gonna just be my lot. I know that. I definitely go out, go out to Boston. Yeah.
Well, okay, that's exciting though. I feel like we're ready in a way and we're like not. Are you? I don't think I've ever been to Massachusetts. What is
hmm
the like culture like compared to Woodstock?
So I haven't really explored Mass that much because I was there for a little bit of a short period of time, because I never really got the opportunity to like do much because I had three um visits that week. So it was like bam bam bam. Um but I heard that I don't even know. Like I heard that people are like pretty nice, but then some people are pretty mean. Like we know how the Boston accents go. But yeah, I heard their seafood's really good, and I'm a seafood girl, so I'm very excited for that. Everyone I met or I've talked to at Stonehill has been great, and some of them are locals of Boston. So yeah, hopefully it's good. I haven't, like I said, I didn't get to experience the culture as much, but I'm supposed to go back out there in September, so I've been truly hoping to get a little bit of more like a culture type experience, see how people work out there, and just like observe.
So I'm that's really exciting. Like I am excited for you. And we're about to both adults, so you're not applying to college like the rest of us because you have it all set in stone. So
Yeah.
lucky bitch. I'm kidding. No, it's stressful. It's college applications and trying to find scholarships and all that stuff is stressful. That's the one thing I envy about athletes. They don't have to deal with that side, but that's okay. That's okay. So we're very proud of you. Again, round of applause for Jade. Okay. So, okay, let's get into your dating life because you know I am very nosy and this is like a girlhood kind of thing. So, I guess the word around town, I guess the thing they want to know is are you seeing someone currently?
Currently, I'm not seeing anyone.
Okay.
Um, I don't have a boyfriend or anything. That's what you guys take as like seeing. I haven't had a boyfriend in like a while. Um, but yeah, I'm not seeing anyone currently. Um, doesn't mean I don't want to. I definitely am a relationship girly, so I definitely want a relationship soon. But also, I think like getting a relationship in like Chicago or Illinois is going to be very difficult when I'm in Boston, because I'm going to be very busy. I'm going to be out with my friends a lot. So I don't know if like someone from here would be able to trust me in Boston, because obviously I'm going to be with my friends. I'm going to be busy doing softball. So I think some part of me like would love a relationship now, but then the other part of me is like, wait till you get to Boston. But I
Yeah.
also that I'm not going to find love in Boston. So
Who told you that?
some person who I talked to from Stonehill who's from Boston, you're like, yeah, if you're gonna try and find love in Boston, like, don't do it. Like, you're not going to. I'm like, oh, okay,
Oh, oh wait,
yeah,
argumentatively, I feel like you can't find it in Chicago though.
right. I feel like we
I
can't.
I don't know. Dating in Chicago is hard. I don't know about Woodstock, but like there's over 3 million people in this city alone.
Mhm.
And I feel like everyone knows everyone. Like it's all weirdly connected. And I'm like, I can't date this person because they're like friends with this person who doesn't like me or like I used to date or like whatever. Is that the case? I imagine it's worse in a small town.
Yeah, so honestly, like I moved to Woodstock in sixth grade, so I still don't even know everyone. Like some people will say others' names, and I'd be like, "Who is that?" Um, but yeah, Woodstock dating in Woodstock does not is not any better. Like people date, and it's kind of like a loop. Like everyone dates everyone. Um, and it's like I don't know. It's very hard. I would say it's like very hard for me to date in Woodstock and any of the other towns because I am a biracial girl and there's not too many of us, especially in Woodstock. So it is a little harder for me, I think. Um, I also think that people are very quick to like judge everyone, so that's also really hard too. But I definitely think like being biracial is hard because there's so many just like bombshell, beautiful, like blonde, blue eyed, like perfect white girls that a lot of like white boys at Woodstock or like just boys in general, they don't really look for the mixed girls. They don't really look for the biracial, especially in other places as well. So I feel like it's a little bit harder.
Well, we're actually going to get into that in a little bit, like being biracial in Woodstock, but that's really sad to see like how that kind of like hinders your dating life. So do you like date guys from the city? Because that could work. It's not that far.
Yeah. I've never spoke to a guy from the city, like except the one that we've talked
Oh, the
about.
one we talked about. And we don't have to say his name. I don't even think he knows I exist. Like Netherlands. I don't think he does. I've literally never seen him. For us to like go to the same school, I've never seen him. Um, what happened there? Like we're not gonna say his name, but what happened there?
I don't know, like very nice kid. From the pictures he sent me, he was very gorgeous. Until I seen a few other pictures that you sent me, and I'm like, that's not the same person.
Oh, you mean the one of him on Valentine's Day? That happens every Valentine's Day. Like you'll talk to a guy for a little bit and it won't work out, and on Valentine's Day they have like a whole girlfriend for like 6 months, and it's
Next,
like
when we started on National Girlfriend Day, they'll just whip out girlfriends. I'm like you did not tell me about.
you did not say you had a girlfriend. No, when he did
Over.
that, I screenshotted it and I sent it to Jade so fast. I was like, so when did he get a girlfriend?
Um, very sweet kid, very nice. I think it was just like one, the distance, and two, like I never like answered him. I'm not very good at answering my phone, so like we just we just stopped talking. That was it. Like we weren't even like talking. Like we were just like snapping,
Yeah.
having conversation there, and we just like stopped snapping, stopped having conversation. Oh, yeah,
Okay, so like me personally, I don't like to date guys that are like too close to me. Like I like to
yeah,
have some kind of distance. Like whether it's like I go to Whitney Young, so whether he goes to like Lane Tech or like Kenwood, like I can't do like a guy like I go to school with and I have to see every day.
yeah. That's definitely me for sure too. Like I like a guy who's a little bit farther, and I feel like guys struggle with that a lot.
I know, because they want you to be there like every day. And I don't know,
Yeah,
I don't like that. Like I feel like relationships, they kind of thrive off of like distance. Healthy
like I
distance.
feel like right. Like I feel like I'm gonna need space to miss you. Like baby, you gotta like it's just not gonna work if I can't miss you. You know what I mean?
My best friend, her and her boyfriend have been together for a year, and they're together like every day. I'm not even kidding. And I'm like, how do you do it? Like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm not social.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
I don't know.
crazy. Like I need my alone time.
I need my alone time. I can't do it. Let's ask the viewers. Can you guys do it? Can you guys see your boyfriend every day? Like that's I couldn't do it, but that's okay. No, I've literally. Do you know where Plainfield is?
I feel like I've heard of it.
Okay, Plainfield is a suburb. But I think Plainfield is more, you're in northern Illinois. Plainfield is more southern Illinois. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Because it's near like Joliet. Okay.
Okay.
S-
Sort of playing. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I remember I I went out with this guy from Plainfield for like 6 weeks and he couldn't do the distance because it's like an hour and 20 minutes. And I
Hmm.
remember I was so hurt. It was that redhead kid I was like talking about.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think he still lives there. If he sees this, we miss you. I saw him at Summer Smash
Oh,
and he saw me and then he left the set because he saw me.
jail. Jail.
Jail. No, that happens to me a lot. Like if I see a guy I used to did anything romantic with in public, they always like leave when they see me because I feel like I terrorize guys. Like
Okay,
I'm
wait.
such a little man eater, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We've done enough. We've done enough.
I'm sorry to go
Okay.
off topic. Wait, hold on. Before you start, I'm sorry to go off topic. Did you see the James Charles leak?
Like what got leaked? Like his nudes? They got leaked?
Yep. It wasn't like it was bad. It was like
Wait,
videos.
okay, wait. Let me do a blind reaction. Blind segment, guys. Okay. Are they on Twitter? I feel like everything's on Twitter.
Yeah. Twitter, and I'm gonna tell you the username.
Okay, I'm
Tell me-
going on. I don't even have Twitter because I'm not
Do you just want me
nasty.
to send it to you later?
Yeah, send it to me because I'm like, who I need to see this. Did you
Yeah.
ever see did you ever see that video of Drake?
Yes.
That was an experience.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get back into it before I start laughing and crying.
No, okay, I'm trying to find I want to see the James Charles thing. I want to find reaction. I love like celebrity sex tapes, like from like Pam and Tommy to like him and Ray J. Like I've seen them all. Like I'm a munch for celebrity sex tapes. They're just fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. Okay, I downloaded X
Okay,
and
Slay. Make sure
okay.
you're like 20 or something so they don't age restrict you.
I have an account. I'm just never on here.
Bro,
Do not go try and find my X, guys.
Elon Musk is
Everybody's
gonna be watching this and be like, you lied about your age.
Oh my God, Elon Musk has bigger fish to fry. Okay, I'm on X. Okay, what's the username?
Okay, Luffy, Luffy, and
L U
then
F F Y
yeah, and then BAL, I think. And then go
B
to their
A L.
account. Hopefully you find it.
Okay, wait. I see pictures, but they're just like they're not
Go
inappropriate.
to the go to the person's account.
Um, I don't. I feel like I'm on the wrong person's account. Okay, send them to me because this is like I
Okay,
see.
do you see people reacting to it like away?
Oh wait, I'm on the person's account. Okay, wait, I found it. I found it. Wait, James Charles has such a big butt.
Okay, wait. Go to the end of the video. Go. No, there's videos. Are you watching the
Okay,
videos or
I'm
looking?
looking at the video.
Go to the end of the video. Go to the.
Okay, I'm going to the end. I'm skipping to the end. Okay, it's loading. What is this, James Charles? Like, I'm like gonna throw up. I don't know. Maybe it's because I still see him as like a high sisters. Like, I'm just not used to this. I'm just not used to this. I'm not used to this. I don't get this kind of stuff. But
Okay.
what are our thoughts on that? What did you think about that video? Because I'm like, I can't process that.
I was I was like oh my god. Like I wonder how he feels right now, but he literally posted a TikTok about his makeup brand like I don't know, like maybe 2-3 hours ago. So he's obviously unbothered. I honestly I love James Charles, like I love his attitude because he always acts so unbothered. But
He is so
yeah,
unbothered. No,
it's like,
I hate
oh
it though, like when stuff like that does happen to people because celebrities are human too, and they
yeah,
don't want their naked pictures that they send to someone they trust out there. That really sucks. So we're in solidarity
yeah,
with, as long as this wasn't to like a minor, because he does text those. But as long as
right.
it wasn't to a
Love you,
minor, love you,
love you,
Kate.
James. Love you. We know you're a person. Just stop texting those minors, please.
Stop texting the minors. And I literally remember I defended him so bad when Tati Westbrook canceled him. I I was there for you, and I'll defend you again. I literally
I would
will.
lie. I was there when Tati was like all up on him. I was on his side. I was like, yep, Tati, don't. And then I remember he threw a throwback video at her and she like disappeared. And I was like, yep, clock it.
Clock it, because what was she even mad about? Some hair gummies? Like she was so stupid for that. Okay, let's.
Clock.
Okay. Okay, so what a conversation. Let's switch to a more serious topic, and I wanted to talk about you growing up in a small all-white suburb as a biracial girl. I want to know, like, for you to live in Woodstock and be that biracial girl.
Um, it's really hard to live in Woodstock. Biracial girl, I won't lie. A lot of like racism here. Um, it was always like hard when I'd have a lot of people, like even in middle school, I'd have a lot of people saying like I wasn't black, like they didn't believe me that my mom was, or I'd have a lot of comments like about like my hair, um, like oh like you put too much of this in your hair, like you put too much of this in your hair, and I'm like y'all really don't understand, like I can't, like you don't understand, I have to do this. Like my hair's not, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, I think it's definitely hard, like now too. I definitely think I've helped a little bit and turned it around. Like at first we didn't have like anything for Black History Month for our high school, and then I finally went to like the principal was like, "Where's the Black History stuff? Like, where is this stuff? We don't learn." I feel like the only academic thing we learn in like history classes and stuff was always about slavery and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Like, I feel like we didn't learn a lot until we started pressing the issue. Um, it's also not a good feeling when you ask your history teacher what we're doing for Black History Month and like telling them like, hey, it's Black History Month, and then them coming back saying like, oh, that's the shortest month of the year. Like, okay, so um, we did get white lies taken away because these students wrote things on their shirt like I like black people, I love the N words. So we got white lies taken away. People are definitely like very racist though, so very hard growing up here. I'll have a lot of people tell me like I'm whitewashed, or when like something happens and like I'm a little bit loud, or get mad that I'm like ghetto. Um, it's definitely hard when it comes to sports. A lot of political, and I feel like it's a lot of race stuff, especially when you're competing with no black girls. It, it's definitely hard.
It is hard. And I know what you mean. A lot of people, obviously we don't have the same experience, but being called
Mm-hmm.
whitewash is so, like, I used to hate that. I'm sure you've heard it, like, oh, you talk like a white girl. Have you heard that before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I hate that because it makes it seem it's so ignorant. It feeds into the stereotype that you can't be sophisticated and be black. We have all
Yeah.
these great black leaders like, like Serena Venus Williams and Michelle Obama and such sophisticated black women, and they all talk, very sophisticated like, and they're very elegant. And yet when you talk like that and you're not like what they think black women are, which are like this hoochie mama aesthetic, then you're not black enough, which is interesting for a white person to say. Um, how have you been affected in your relationships with like your peers? Like, do you think your friends look at you differently? Do you think boys look at you differently? Like, what is that
Uh,
like?
with my peers, I think people do like look different. Um, I don't think my friends do, but I definitely think people who are just like there do, like just like in a big group when we're all together. I think that like they think it's funny to like make racist jokes. Like they don't mind it. They think it's okay. Um, I think like when in sports, like when I played volleyball, I think that was probably the hardest when it came to like me feeling some type of way um of like the racism because of just like a lot of stuff, and I feel like I didn't even really notice it until my parents told me. And I feel like I was experiencing racism at a very young age, but I didn't even realize it. Like in my middle school's play, or not middle school, in my elementary school, my elementary school's play, um, I auditioned. And I'm gonna be honest, like I was a way far better singer than the people who got like the good singing roles. And they casted me as the monkey.
No, you've been
Mhm.
dropping bombs today.
Yeah,
What? What
casted me
was
as
the
the monkey.
what was the play? Like Aladdin or like
Musical, the musical. Yeah,
I
I
missed
was
that
casted
part.
as
What was it?
Susical the musical.
Oh,
Susical the
okay.
musical.
Never heard of that.
Yeah,
And they casted you
I
as a monkey.
yeah. And when I went to tell my parents, my mom was like, "You're not doing it." And at the time, I was so young, like I didn't realize this was a racist remark, but I still did it because I wanted to do it. But my parents thought it was weird for sure. Like it is weird. Like now thinking about it, it's weird. But yeah, I feel like I've experienced at a young age, so I'm kind of used to it now, and to the point like it bothers me, but I try not to let it because no matter how hard I try to change people, they're just still going to be ignorant as they were. So,
So you mentioned earlier talking about like it's hard kind of to date because guys like the bombshell, blue eyes, blonde hair girls. So can you talk a little bit
yeah.
more about that?
Yeah, I feel like I remember this one time this guy asked me what ethnicity I was, and I told him I was mixed and that my mom was black. And he was like, "Oh, I don't date black girls." Um, I also like I also feel like I I feel like I feel like I'm a pretty girl. Like I have a lot of
You are.
pretty, I have pretty curly hair, like I have pretty eyes. I feel like I have a pretty good personality. I have things going for myself.
You
I
do.
just don't like obviously I get like a lot of like obviously I'm not doubting that I don't get like attention from guys. I just feel like sometimes it's like the wrong attention because a lot of guys can't like I've had a lot of instances where guys will be like, "Oh, I don't want to date. Like I think you're pretty, but I'm not a dating person." But then they'll get into a relationship with a
White
blonde,
girl.
blue-eyed white girl. Yeah,
Yep.
and I'm just like, "Oh, this brunette Oreo cookie wasn't."
Well,
So,
are there black guys in Woodstock? Because I was gonna say like if because white guys are always the one to
yeah,
pull that car.
there's a few. Honestly, there's only a handful of black kids that stock. I'm not gonna lie. Um, there's a few though for sure, but they are dating white girls, or they don't really like. I don't know. It's weird. It's definitely weird.
Oh my God. And has
Mhm.
that affected like your self-confidence and the way you see
Oh,
yourself?
oh, for sure. It's definitely hard when guys consistently tell you like they don't do relationships, but months later, like they'll be in relationships with blonde, white bombshells. or just white girls in general, it's definitely um hard because it's almost like I'll never be ashamed of being never, like never that. But it's honestly like, am I not good enough to be in a relationship for a man because I'm black? You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty enough to for them to want to like hang out. Like, obviously, we know a lot of men are one thing. Like, I'm pretty enough for that, but I'm not good enough to date. So sometimes when it's like, I know like my personality is good because they can simply tell me like I know I'm a good person, but is it that becomes a factor? Like, is it because I'm black? Is it because I'm a biracial girl? You know what I mean? Is it because
That
I
breaks,
hold value standards myself? Because a lot of
living.
that.
What were you saying?
Sorry,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
No.
I said when I said, is it also because I values and standards for myself? Like I'm not easy. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but I definitely think like being black is a factor.
Oh, for sure. No,
Mm-hmm.
living in this city, obviously Chicago is very diverse.
Mm-hmm.
And the few white guys that I've had experiences with have done that exact same thing to me, which is
Yeah.
like, oh, you're pretty to like kiss or you're pretty to experiment with. That's what they kind of treat you like, oh, you're a
Mm-hmm.
black girl and I want to try that one time, but I wouldn't like publicly claim you to the world because you're black. And it
Right.
is so hurtful. Like that will break your heart because it broke mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always like, I just don't even, I don't date white guys because of that. And I'm like, I didn't realize how fortunate I was to have the ability. There's so many black guys in Chicago. I have the ability to just deal with them and like not have to deal with white guys. But living in an all white town, I can't even imagine that pain. But I want to let you know, and to anyone else who's going through a similar problem, who's listening, you're not less of a person because a guy doesn't want to date you. Most of the time, that it has everything to do with them and whatever's going on in their fucked up brains and nothing to do with you. Like, look at Jade. She's drop dead gorgeous, and you literally would thrive so hard in the city. Like, I'm telling you, guys here would eat you up. And you're being treated as like a less than in Woodstock because you're half black, and that's so sad. And that's because of them. It has nothing to do with Jade. And if you look at Jade, Jade isn't even like you're like not like a like imagine how they would treat like a dark skinned girl with like hair. And this is
Yeah.
how they're treating a light skinned girl. Like, are you serious? It is so sad.
Yeah.
And it really breaks my heart that you have to go through that. Well, how do you work around that? How do you cope? Like, do you just not date? Or do you date outside of the city? Do you like have friends who are more open-minded? What do you do?
I definitely don't talk to guys in my I talk to guys in like I feel like the surrounding cities sometimes. Sometimes I'll let them like me because obviously the whole biracial thing. But yeah, I kind of just like the guy comes to me and shows interest in me, like I'll show his respect. But the moment that you're like, no, I don't want a relationship, and but you treat me like we're in a relationship, that's when I'm like, no, I know. But yeah, I don't really. I guess I don't really date. I don't really put in effort to guys because of it. Um, until I find like my person, I feel like I haven't really put any effort into person, I guess.
Well, I hope you find, we're really young, but I hope you find a companion. You're
Mhm.
a gorgeous girl, and it's always fun to, kind of stick to your friends and have fun, but everybody
Mhm.
wants the love, everybody wants a love story, everybody wants the companionship, and you
Yeah.
absolutely deserve it. And that breaks my heart. But I'm glad that you're coping. I'm glad that you're figuring out a way. And Boston is also pretty diverse, so I think
Mhm.
you'll have a lot more over there, huh? Okay, so I wanted to talk about your plans for your future. So, this is our last year. what are your prom plans, graduation plans, and then you're going to pack everything up and go to Massachusetts. What's life in Massachusetts going to look like?
So obviously I'm graduating early. So with graduating in December, before I go up to college, I'm just gonna be putting in work to get ready for college, but also like working. Like right now I work two jobs. I work at Dick's Sporting Goods and I also work at Gipper Prom Shop, which is in Crystal Lake, little prom dress store. So definitely just working, getting money, for me and to help my family because obviously like it's not gonna be cheap to live in Boston. Um, so just like getting like money for Boston so I don't have to like rely on my parents to be sending me money for like food, clothes, whatever it is. Um, so helping them out with in that way. Um, but after um I finish with Stonehill, I'm planning to major in business, so I definitely in business and marketing, so I definitely want to look into something like that, but I also want to be a college coach. Um, I know some of them so that I feel like that would maybe be a little bit more of a side job, and my main job would be like doing something in business, no matter like what that is. So far, I'm not sure what that looks like. Um, but yeah, you never know. Like I might get don't be like, oh, I don't do, but and like, I've never thought about where I wanted to move after um college, but like sitting down and thinking about it, like I loved Hawaii and I could so see myself there. So I always tell my mom I'm going to move to Hawaii, but she always says no. But I am going to move to Hawaii, so
That would be great. No, I could absolutely see you in Hawaii.
mm-hmm.
And I hope you get the whole love story. We hope you find the man, you have the career, the money, the kids if you want them. I wish it all on you. And I'm so happy that you came today. And thank you for letting me pry into your life and everything. You have been such a
Sure.
great guest. So before you go, I wanted to do one last thing. Before
Mhm.
you go, well, actually, hold on. Let me mark a clip. Did it work? Okay. Okay, before you go, I wanted to do some Ask Alex questions. And we're gonna both, even though these are Ask Alex, we're gonna do an Ask Alex and Jade segment. So I have a list of questions that you guys submitted, which we are over the moon about, and we're just gonna give our honest opinions. Okay. So, hi Alex, what do I do if the guy I'm seeing doesn't want a relationship?
Ugh, we were just talking about this. Do you want me to
Yes.
answer first and then you?
Yeah, you answer
Um,
first.
Girl, if he doesn't think you're good enough to be in a relationship with, I don't even think waste your time. I mean, if you don't want a relationship, then so well. Like, yeah, experience it with him. But if you want a relationship, don't waste your time. Like, it never works out. Like, they'll say that and then they'll get into a relationship the next month. Um, just don't waste your time. Like, don't do it. It's just such a big waste of time.
It is such a big waste of time. And the same thing, I feel like what women get used about is like guys are very, very direct. Like if they want you, you will be like their girlfriend within like 2 or 3 weeks and you guys will be together. So if you're playing this guessing game or if you're waiting around, he doesn't want to be with you. And I
Yeah.
personally, I'm at a point in my, I don't deal with that shit. So, okay. Okay. Hi, Alex. How do I get out of a toxic relationship?
Ooh, that's a really hard one. Honestly, like, tell them how you feel and end it. Like, if that means like you tell them how you feel and you end it and that still doesn't do anything, honestly, like if that means you have to get a restraining order, block him, delete your social medias, get a new number, I mean that's what you're gonna have to do. But I think just like tell them how you feel and move on and don't reach back out because if it's toxic once, it's gonna be toxic again. So honestly, you could even tell him how you feel on iMessage and then block him so you can't even see his reply. If you know he's gonna be on like some crazy stuff. But yeah, I think telling someone how you feel and then just like ending it on a peaceful note is good.
And the best way I feel like to end a toxic relationship is to like know in yourself you're it. So get to that kind of like finishing point, and so you're not going back, so you're not running back because you don't want to do that, especially if the relationship has gotten to a point where it's like abusive in any kind of way. So you have to work within yourself, set boundaries, set standards that you don't want to cross or anything like that, so you're not running back to a toxic environment. So you have to know you don't deserve to be in a toxic environment. Okay, this is
Mhm.
a fun one. Hi, Alex. If you could go anywhere on the planet, all expenses paid, where would you go?
I would go to Italy. I don't know if you know this, I'm Italian. My dad's
Oh, I didn't
I
know that.
I would definitely go to Italy. Like I think Italy is beautiful and I heard the people there are pretty nice. And I love pasta, my favorite food. So yeah, definitely Italy.
I actually was going to say either Italy or Dubai. Um, I
Mhm.
watched The Real Housewives. I'm like a Real Housewives fan. And The Real Housewives
Yeah.
of Dubai makes Dubai seem so fun. But I've always wanted to
Yeah.
go to Venice. So let's hope someday somebody like will pay for vacations. Okay, I like this one. Hi, Alex. My question to you is how do you build your confidence, like to be able to go out, to be outgoing, because I struggle with that so much.
Um Honestly, girl, like I just like stand by in life, like girl or boy, sorry. Honestly, I just stand by in life, like regardless if I fake my personality or act myself, people are always gonna have something to say. So why fake my personality when they're gonna hate regardless? Like if I put on a persona and people are hating, like I might as well just be me. You know what I mean? Like people are going to speak badly about you, say things about you, like not like you. Period. So I think just knowing that like if you're just you, like you'll attract the right people. But if you put on a persona, like you're gonna attract the wrong people, and you don't want.
And that's the same thing. And I have like a whole episode about this, so you should listen to that. But the biggest thing for me is like you have to one learn to like yourself, because when you like yourself, you don't really care if other people like you. And the second thing
Mm-hmm.
being, realize that no one can judge anyone because everyone has done some real embarrassing shit. Everyone's been cringe, everybody's, been broken up with, everybody's like done everything embarrassing. So you can't, like, if they're like talking about you or saying stuff about you, you can't take their appearance too seriously because no one's fucking perfect. Except for Rihanna. She's pretty perfect. I love this one. And I think this will be our last one because I have like a whole list, but I like this one. Okay. Hi, Alex. What's your advice for dropping friends? In the terms of knowing when enough is enough of being treated poorly, how to and have respect to stand up for yourself by calling them out slash not associate yourself with them without feeling tremendous guilt. Because I literally suffer with that so bad. I just allow people to walk all over me, use me, treat me like shit, etc. Because when I finally snap back, they make me feel like I'm the bad guy and they're it's just a shitty situation. I always feel so guilty and bad standing up for myself, even though I shouldn't, and I need tips on gaining that inner confidence slash boldness to do it without shame. Oh my god, look at you.
The Tell me why I'm going through the same thing right now. I'm going through the same thing. Honestly, girl, this was the perfect question you could ask because I'm literally going through this right now. Um, you sound just like me. Like I always try and see the good in people and give them the benefit of the doubt, but in so many situations happen where they're not a good person towards you, and obviously, like you said, they show you. Um, I think that God will let you know when your time is up with a person, and when you don't take that first warning, He just gonna keep showing you and keep showing you and keep showing you until it finally burns you. Um, so I think like you saying to yourself like I would never treat them like this, like I would never let like I always kind of refer to in any situation like what I want my daughter getting treated like this? Would I let my daughter getting treated like this? And if you say no, then that tells you everything you need to know. And I feel like if you're treating them and doing things for them, why are you letting them show you that they don't care about you? Especially when it comes to like when you tell your feelings and they say you're wrong. Never let someone tell you that you're wrong or your feelings. Never let someone tell you how to feel, because if that's how you felt at the end of the day, that's how you felt. And a friend wouldn't tell you how to feel. I totally get it. I'm going through this right now. Like literally the same exact situation. And I'm so done. I sat down, I talked to God, and I said, God, you keep showing me, and I owe it to myself to not let this keep going on anymore. And you don't even have to end the friendship in any way. Like, you don't have to text them and say, hey, I want it to be over. Like, me right now, because it is my senior year and I just want to go drama free, I am prolonging the, like, hey, I don't think we should be friends text anymore. I'm distancing myself. I'm tying my hands up with the person and I'm calling it quits. But I I definitely understand it's a little hard. Um, but just letting people know that they can't play with you in your face more than once, because if you keep letting them, they're just going to keep doing it. Um, and someone who's your friend is never going to tell you how you can and can't feel. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. And I go through the exact same thing. We're just three people pleasers because I'm the exact same. And with
Mm-hmm.
me, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I've been through enough and I don't have time for people who aren't my friends. Like, if you're not my real friend, then I just can't be your friend. And Jade was right. Like, you don't have to send a long text. Like, you just don't have to fuck with them. And chances are, if they're not your
Mm-hmm.
friend, they're not going to ask questions. They're not going to reach out to you because they're not their friend, your friend. Like, they don't give a fuck about you. And that's the thing. And if they do ask out to you, and are like, hey, why are you ghosting me? Why aren't you talking to me? Trying to make it seem like it's you. The best way to communicate with that person is to be assertive, not passive, not aggressive, but assertive. Usually people don't like to accept blame, so you don't have to say, oh, I'm not talking to you because you're a bitch to me or this, that, and the third. You just say, I feel like it's best if we discontinue our friendship because sometimes I feel that we don't communicate as best. Like, try to make it seem as neutral and as blameless as you can, even if they are a total fucking bitch. Because
Mm-hmm.
people don't like to accept blame and then it becomes an argument and you don't want to be seen as aggressive. And let them say what they want to say about you. Like Jade said, people are going to talk about you no matter what you do. You can lay down for the rest of your life and people will still have something to say about it. And with that, we're going to conclude yet another episode of Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood. Jade, thank you so much for being here. I think we have to have you on here more. Did you have fun?
Yes, I was actually gonna text and be like, girl, you need to do episodes. The one thing I want to finish off with is everyone remember distance over disrespect and peace over people, baby. You are the only one at the end of the day who has you. No one else has you like you do. So don't allow anyone to be less than you are, because you're not. You're amazing. God loves you. Be kind to everyone, please. Love like Jesus. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say.
I love that. I love that. You guys need to follow at Jade Sanders on Instagram to stay up on all things Jade. Isn't she so beautiful and interesting? And follow at literally
Yeah.
MGTG on Instagram and TikTok to stay updated on all things My Guide to Girlhood. We're so glad we can pry a little bit into Jade's life and also talk to you guys about everything. And I love doing the Ask Alex column, so keep them coming. And I will see you guys next week on Monday. Mwah. Love you guys. Toodles.